So, you're about to graduate, or maybe you're just starting out in your career. You've definitely heard all the buzz and probably all the anxiety around artificial intelligence. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise and talk about what AI really means for your first job. Look, this is the big question, right? It's the one on everyone's mind, and it makes total sense to feel like you're stepping into a job market where you're suddenly up against a machine. The headlines are, let's be honest, pretty scary. So let's get real and look at what the numbers are actually telling us. All right, let's start with a hard number. In just the last year and a half, postings for entry-level white-collar jobs in the US have dropped by a staggering 35%. And yeah, you guessed it. A huge reason for this is how quickly companies are adopting AI. And if you look down the road, well, the forecasts get even crazier. Some analysts are predicting that AI could wipe out as many as 56% of all entry-level jobs within the next 5 years. That's more than half. It's a number that's just impossible to ignore. And believe me, this isn't just happening in the US. To give you a bit of a global picture, over in the UK, some specific IT fields saw job postings drop by 40% or even more in a single year. That post-pandemic hiring spree for junior tech talent, it's over. The bottom line here is that this is a real global shift that's happening right now. All this data is pointing to what a lot of people are starting to call an entry-level crisis. We're talking about a fundamental change to the very first rung of the corporate ladder. And it's not something that's coming, it's already here. This has created what economists are now calling the new grad gap. And the reason why is what's really fascinating. See, AI is incredible at doing the exact things that used to be the bread and butter of junior roles, right? Things like basic research, data entry, writing up reports. That traditional first step on the career ladder is literally being automated away. Okay, so I know all of that sounds pretty bleak, but here's the thing. This whole story about AI just destroying jobs, that's mostly hype. The reality is way more nuanced and honestly a lot more interesting. So the hype, the fear, is that AI is here to replace you. But the reality is that it's here to redefine the job. It's taking over the repetitive, boring stuff, which actually pushes up what's expected of a new hire from day one. The focus is shifting fast, away from just doing tasks and towards solving actual problems. And listen, this isn't just me being optimistic. You've got industry leaders like Catherine Diaz from Cognizant saying this loud and clear. Companies know that if they don't bring in new, digitally native talent, they're going to fall behind. They need new graduates to help them figure this AI world out. They absolutely need you to thrive. And this brings us to a really important shift in how you need to think about this. You have to stop seeing AI as your competition. You need to start seeing it as the most powerful tool you've ever had. The graduates who figure out how to work with AI, not against it, are the ones who are going to win, period. So how do you actually do that? That's what this next part is all about. This is the playbook, your guide to navigating this new job market and turning what looks like a crisis into a huge advantage. The strategy here is pretty straightforward, and it has three main parts. First, you have to master AI as a tool you use every day. Second, you have to go all in on the uniquely human skills that AI just can't touch. And third, you have to commit to always be learning, always be leveling up your skills. Okay, let's break down that first step, mastering AI. This isn't some vague idea. It means learning actual concrete skills, like prompt engineering, which is really just the art of asking AI the right questions to get amazing results. Then there's algorithmic verification. Think of yourself as an AI fact checker. You need to be able to test what it spits out and know if it's accurate. And this is a big one, you need to understand the ethics, like never ever paste sensitive company info into a public chatbot. All right, on to step 2 of the playbook, which is every bit as important as the first. We need to get really clear on the new division of labor between you and your AI assistant. This table lays out the new partnership perfectly. Let the AI handle all the grunt work, right? The repetitive stuff, the first draft of a report, chewing through massive spreadsheets. Your job is to handle everything it can't do. Making those tough judgment calls, talking to a frustrated client with real empathy, thinking about the big picture strategy, and, navigating the messy human politics of an office. I really want this to sink in. Your value in the workplace is no longer about your ability to just do a task. It's about your ability to think critically, to connect with people, to be creative, and to make smart judgment calls. These so-called soft skills are now the hardest, most valuable, and most future-proof skills you can have. So, what does this all mean for your career path, for your future? Well, the good news is this whole shift isn't just about surviving, it's actually about accelerating. Think about it. In the past, you might have spent years doing boring, manual work before you ever got to touch the interesting, strategic stuff. But today, AI is automating a lot of that away. That means you get thrown into complex, important challenges way earlier in your career, which can seriously fast track your growth. And remember, companies can't just stop hiring junior talent completely. It would be business suicide. Why? Because somebody has to become the next generation of leaders. Who's going to run the place in 10 or 20 years? This disruption we're seeing right now is a phase, an adjustment period. It's not a dead end. So ultimately, your first job has been fundamentally redefined. You're not just being hired to be a task doer anymore. You're being hired to become a strategic thinker faster than any generation before you, and to use AI as the launch pad that gets you there. So you see, the whole conversation has changed. It's not about being afraid of being replaced anymore. It's about mastering a partnership. The real question is no longer if you'll work with AI, it's how you'll work with it. So, are you ready?